Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Neuro, and this is a detective work case. Trying to figure out why Serral keeps winning even though we keep nerfing him. This is versus Protoss. Zergs, maybe in some of Legacy of the Void or Heart of the Swarm, were considered to be pretty overpowered and very common. And in Grandmasters League, it was like half Zergs. It was just Zerg all the way down. And it's pretty rare to see a Protoss or a Terran. But these days, Zerg is the most rare. And some people believe that's because the power of everyone who plays one of the factions is evenly distributed across the people who play that. So as fewer Zergs have been playing, Zergs quit and give up because they perceive Zerg to be weak. That only makes Serral stronger. It's part of the conundrum of continuing to nerf Zerg, is it's caused Serral to continue to gain in consistency and power. So the Cabal has been meeting with the Security Council and the Balance Council on this for some time. We're just really trying to figure out what's going on here. Because we might need a buff Zerg to reduce some of Serral's power. If he's winning too much, and that's more of the issue, if it's a him problem and it's not a balance problem. Because if we buff Zerg, that'll make other Zergs better. And that might potentially reduce some of Serral's power. I don't know, I'm just thinking of ideas here. But this is what he does against Protoss on hard lead. Is this map hard lead or hard lead? Feel free to argue amongst yourselves. Gateway into Cybercore. Overlord scouts it, says, hey, that's a Zerg base. That is absolutely a Zerg base here. Serral gets the ling speed, pulls off gas. He goes triangle base whenever he gets blocked. That's good to know. I have not been doing that. I think this base is just a touch closer by creep than this base, which can help against adept all-ins. A Stargate. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, DNS is going for this standard build. This standard build. 3 oracles into Blink Stalker 3 base. Let's see if they do it. Is it going to be the repeat of the classical style? Queen's deflecting Oracle. Tries to go over to the 3rd. Doesn't get anything. Alright. More of a, I would say, clean and passive opening. The other match that Serral played against DNS, he went for 16 pull, 6 ling, and then he went for like 17 to 20 lings to delay the 3rd, and then a big Roach Ravager Queen push. This game has been a lot more passive for both players. Just playing careful with the units, not really YOLOing them in. Not really making more units than you would need to defend your expansion, so we're just seeing 2 macro gamers just agree to macro. Do you want to just not attack each other and just build up some stuff for like 5 minutes? Yeah, sure. So they're just going to build up some stuff here. It's lead. L-E-A-D, lead. He doesn't miss any injects. Yeah, he's got the fundamentals down pat. Watch out. Nice small micro there. Only lost 2 drones. 2 drones, and it's 57 to 51. Does DNS go for a 4th base, some gases, or an all-in? Ooh, double robo. This is different. Different than the other game. With the double robo, what do? You build a robo bay. Of course. But with the Robo Bay, what do? You make Robo Bay units, or take Robo Bay upgrades, such as Zoomy Prism, Colossus Range, and Observer Speed. All of which a growing Protoss needs. Gravitic Boosters. I need to scout them very quickly. So I got the gravitic boosters. Oracle. Trying to look sternly down upon these lings to get them to leave. Third base is getting saturated here for DNS. A little bit of missed uptime in probe production, but maybe this is as many workers as DNS wants. 66 on the dot. That is 3 base saturation, not a probe further. Serral is up at 80 drones. He's going for a quick hive. 6 minute 30. He is starting his hive. He's got +1 range attack on the Evo for roaches. He has a Baneling's Nest and roach speed on the way. Oracles are harassing his base, but is he tilted? Maybe. Probably not, though. He just killed an Oracle. He's probably feeling really good. That Oracle was expensive. And that could have dropped many stasis wards in the future. But this queen took it out. Third base, perfectly saturated. Second base, perfectly saturated. This base, perfectly saturated for minerals and 1 gas. This base, perfectly saturated. Just mint. Mint fundamentals, not a detailed mist. The creep is moving. The bases are saturated. The bases are injected. The bases are getting scouted by his overseer. He's getting Bane speed. He's getting melee 1. The hive is nearly done. Serral, nerf him all you want. He will still win with his big Zerg gun. I said it. Roach Ravagerling. Quick hive. It's a triple giraffe migration. It's a quadruple giraffe. It's amazing that the giraffes are migrating this time of year. Quadruple giraffe. There are no other units. It's just giraffes. It's simply a herd of giraffes. Wow. Queen spread and creep here. The creep is passing mid-map as we speak. This creep tumor is going to push the creep into the enemy's domain. And that is always a concerning moment as the Protoss player. This is interesting. He's taking this whole high ground area with creep. He just lives here. This is his home. More Banes are being made. Roach Bane Ravager versus a couple giraffes. Vipers are in the mix here, 2 of them. Serral may be choosing not to get full energy with the Vipers. Maybe that prevents them from getting one-shot by the feedback. I'm not sure. Ling Bane rolling in at this third base. Vipers get an abduct and get another abduct. He gets 2 of the giraffes. Grabs an immortal. Bane's moving in as well. Roach Ravager looking pretty strong here. Protoss only has 4 units left. But there are 4 Protoss units and Serral needs to retreat. Oh, there's also zealots there. There were some zealots. 6 zealots, true. True. But the 4th base is good. This base is chilling. Look at all these cannons and stuff. You're Zerg, what do you do here? Masslings, 85 drone eco, 14 Bane, 2 Viper, gets some energy again. Adrenal Glands is done, +2 melee is on the way. And this observer has been observing things for quite some time in the Zerg base. That's why it's called an observer. 193 supply to 154. This zealot once held the watchtower, but then was promptly killed by 100 Zerglings. It was pretty brutal. Ling Bane, Roach Ravager. Positioning. Going in for the fight. The Baneling's trying to soften up this army. Oh, heavy storms on that army. But it may simply be too much. The blinding clouds cause the Immortals to derp out and the Colossus is pulled back into the Ling Roach and killed. Serral can just continue to go up here, fight with the Viper energy, and then fall back. And these are super efficient trades. Units lost tab. He's almost more efficient than the Protoss. Almost. 7 drones killed in that Zealot run by. Serral re-drones here. He's got 83 to 80. 25 Banes going out. This is going to be a slugfest here. Protoss is pretty good at defending with these units. But the creep is so close to home. They hardly have any breathing room. This base is getting pooped on. This base has a Zergling on it, so you can't send that over there. Or send a probe there. Oh my gosh, these Immortals are just fully surrounded. It's just two lonely giraffes. Gets the abduct and kills another one. And kills another one. Wow. These Zealots, though, have +2. Just throwing more Colossi at the equation. 68 workers to 86, a bunch of Banes. Rolled in here and killed a bunch of stuff. Man, these bases are coming up. Once again, find me a Serral base that's not injected. Challenge rating impossible. This queen may leave for now, but this base is injected. And so is this one. Just try to go comb through some Serral replays and look for when a base isn't injected. Look, this base? This is still injected. The queen's left. We found a moment. 12 minutes 30. The first mistake in a Serral game. Ouchie, that was very efficient for Protoss. Man, these Colossi are actually hanging on. "83 workers, 17 Roach, 2 Viper." He's sticking with the 2 Viper. He needs to heal these. They're very hurt. Look at this poor Viper. It's got 42 health. Looking worse for wear. Zealot Archon, Colossi, Observer. Fifth base coming up at 13 minutes. That's good for Serral because the main base is mining out, and the natural is also mining out. And the third base is also mining out, so Protoss is about to really be on 2-base eco. And the fifth is denied. Feedback on the Vipers, rendering them useless. Oh, these Banes. Kind of going around, getting the cannon. Getting some damage. It's hard for Protoss to spend their money here. They're very heavily limited on Vespene and gas because there's no 5th base. There's no 5th. Zerg has just been relentless in taking this area. You can't go here because this Ling has been here for 10 minutes. This Overlord's been pooping here for the past half hour. And this base is practically creeped. You have to admire the courage of the Protoss, though. Whenever this is happening to your bases. No 5th for you. No 4th base saturation for you. 17 workers killed. Protoss is down to 59 probes. How do they live this? You can see on the minimap the blue, like, rectangle shaped thing that's going around. That's Serral's vision. So you see him, like, looking at his opponent, looking at the creep pushing on the right side, looking at the creep in the mid, checking the army, looking at the creep on the left side, looking at the Protoss base. He's just all over the map. Closing his opponent out of this amazing map called Hard Lead. Hard Lead? The Vipers once again showing up to the battle to be feedbacked. We make the Vipers because we believe that sometimes abducts will happen, but not this time. There's a Prism going toward the main. Serral doesn't have much vision of this, though. He neglected Overlord spread. He has creep everywhere, to be fair. Oh, the Queen sees it. Workers killed for this game? Serral has killed 49 to 20 of DNS. Well, the queens are here. Whenever that prism wants to try to make a play, Serral's got a huge clump of queens. Just gonna go for a little Bane run by. See how much damage this finds. Bane's rolling in. This base is having a problem. And 13 probes fall. Protoss is going at this. There are some spores here. Ah. Man. Broodlords are here now. There are 6 broods. Wow. There are Zergs making broodlords even to this day. This just feels bad for Protoss. They can't really push into this. They're gonna have constant new units being sent at them, and they have so little anti-air. The only anti-air they have is the Archons, but they're too short range to kill the broodlords. The Colossi can help, but is it gonna be enough? There's more Ling pressure here. The Lings killed all the shield batteries, and they're killing all the probes. No probes escape from this base. 18 workers killed. 163 supply for Serral. 43 workers to 68. Both players kind of hurting economically. Serral dropped a whole bunch of his drones into spores here to anchor in for this broodlord transition. That does mean that his income is less, though. Very tough game here for the Protoss gamer. Lings trying to surround this. Battery overcharge is used. And it's killed. Lings are on the probes. Protoss is down to 40 workers. Sub 40 worker economy. The writing is on the wall here. There's a wall and words are written upon it that say Protoss is doomed. They're doomed. There just isn't enough money to keep maxing out. The coffers are empty. There's only 69 Vespene. It's a tough time. Ling run by is a pretty good strat, yep. You do have to soften up the Protoss defenses though, and he used a lot of Banelings to do that. After you've used the Banes to kill the key buildings like the cannons and the shield batteries, then sending in the Lings is good. A mistake that I make and that a lot of Zergs make is they'll just throw Lings at a bunch of cannon battery, which doesn't really work the best. Serral very smartly sent Banelings to kill those buildings first, and then Adrenaline run by later, once they were killed. This is a big Broodlord push. He's got 13 of them on a hotkey. And he's just focusing the Nexus. He's not really trying to run at the army. Oh, the spores are being moved up onto creep here on the high ground. And it's a spore Broodlord push. Quadruple spore with the queen support. The broods push down the Nexus. And this Protoss army can only look in amazement at the majestic Broodlord. Nerfed as it may be, still has a small niche place in the matchup. Ling's trying to do a run by. But there's a Zealot Archon Oracle watch post here. Protoss is down to 4 bases once again. This base has no defense whatsoever. If Serral were to send even a single Zergling at the base, it would be killed. Now he has some infestors. Throwing out fungals. Lets the Broodlords do some work. Queen's helping tank. Pulling back with the broods. He's got 7 queens on a hotkey. Lets the broods go forward. Stalker's trying to blink around, but he falls back with the broods. Falling back to those spores. Queen's moving in. Doesn't really bother too much with the transfuse. He's trying to make sure his broods don't die. And GG is called. Wow. Serral with the maxed out army and the bank. And Protoss with their bases in shambles. Surviving against that army with Broodlord, Infestor, and Queen. Notice that he didn't actually crush the army as the win condition. He backstabbed to kill the final bases of income for the win condition. Well played, Serral. The mighty Zerg.